Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another very big edition over here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing us. Thank you. If you've chosen us, thank you very much. Like you always do, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notification. It's very important that you do so. Subscribe to the channel and then turn on notification. Let us hear from you on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe to the channel, well, make sure you do choose all. And once you do that, make sure that you hear from you in the comment section as well. So let us do that. Let us have a very good conversation over Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. There's a lot to unpack for you over here. First of all, there's a bit about Mauricio Pochettino and the update that's coming from there. And you see, let's start like this. Now, most of the reports of Chelsea battle are very funny. First of all, there are people that are reporting that Mauricio Pochettino most likely is going to be sacked in the summer. There are a lot of people also reporting say Mauricio Pochettino will not be sacked in the summer because the players are saying say if they sack him, there's going to be a revolt and they don't want to stay at Chelsea if Mauricio Pochettino is not there. And then there are a few other things as well. First of all, let's talk about the Enzo Fernandez injury now. Now, Enzo Fernandez, yesterday, as reported by Chelsea, has come out. And then the thing is that Enzo Fernandez is out for the rest of the season. Now, the reason is simple. Now, Enzo a big groin injury. I mean, they call it hernia, but it's in the groin area, which is not a hinder the performance. In fact, in the last 2 or 3 games, you can tell say the performances of Enzo Fernandez has been affected on and off the ball, especially against Arsenal. It was so clear that Enzo was struggling. I'm very sure that the team, the technical team and the medical team were hoping say they could finish the season and then go ahead and do the surgery and then go and play the Copa America. But Blues, as you said, the pain was unbearable. For everything that's going on, it looks very clear. That Chelsea tried every means possible to try and get Enzo Fernandez to play to the end of the season, but that's not going to happen. Enzo ain't me and Bobby to the end of the season, and then he is going to be out for the rest of the season, prepare for the Copa America, and then come back for preseason and then start next season game, which I think is a good idea because there is no need to play Enzo Fernandez, especially off the back of yesterday reports in Jeffrey Coban with respect to injuries. Now, 5 key players of Chelsea have returned to injury, and these are the details. First of all, Aya Brante and Levi Cole, who has returned from injury, partial training on the grass and raw. Yesterday, I saw there was Rhys James also has returned from injury, partial training on the grass and raw. There was also Christopher Nkunku returned from injury, partial training on the grass and raw. And then also there is Cole Palmer and Ra also returning to partial training for Chelsea Football Club. So all of these players are returning from injury. Very important players, key players in the this conversation of Chelsea Football Club this season. Most of them players that are likely supposed to be starting. And then in the bit around the midfield area, there is Leslie Ogochukwu can also add up in terms of cover for Chelsea Football Club. And so when Enzo Fernandez went out injured, there was a midfield pivot of Moise Caicedo and Conor Gallagher at the base of the midfield. Now, I'm expecting say that's going to be the new pivots going forward. Conor Gallagher and then Moise Caicedo at the base, then Cole Palmer more centrally. Then you have extra attackers up front. And that is if Abranche friend and Christopher Nkunku is fully fit to play in games, and that will make that setup very good. I'm only worried, say, Chelsea right back in Abranche Feni, Malo Gusto, and say injured. Even though Malo Gusto was also fully fit, he is saying yesterday that he's going to return by the West Ham game. Noni Malo Gusto yesterday, Abra Chelsea 4 fans went ahead to Cobham to go and speak to the players and then have an open day. And one of the things that he told the fans in there and said he's going to return, he's sure he's going to be in contention for the game against West Ham because that injury is not a big injury like that. It's just a small niggle, and he believes that it's going to happen by West Ham in after the Aston Villa game. So they will be waiting to see if that gets done against the game against West Ham in there. And if Malo Gusto comes in, that setup of 2 midfield pair of Conor Gallagher, Moise Caicedo at the base, and then having Levi Cole and then any of the centre back parents coming back was good. And see, I've kind of several times. One of the things that I was incensed about in that game against Arsenal was the fact that Mauricio Pochettino went ahead to play a centre-back pair that has been disastrous all season. You don't play Benoit Bellachile when he's low in confidence. See, I've said it. I don't believe that Benoit Bellachile is a bad centre-back. He's not a bad centre-back. He's actually a very good centre-back. Albeit, he's low in confidence now. Since that injury, he has been on and off the team. And he hasn't had a good run of games. He hasn't turned anything around. You need him to build his confidence in low tier games before you can bring him to big games like this. But if you tell me that you played Thiago Silva, who is going to leave the club anyway in the summer, and then he had not played any game Biao in the game lead up to the Arsenal game. No, he had not played except that Man City game that he went to play. The week prior to that, he had not played a game. For about 7 days, he had rested the Man City game, no, which finished in 90 minutes. He didn't go to extra time. He didn't go to penalties. And then you play him and Thiago and Nathaniel Chalobah, Trevor Chalobah. They were brilliant on and off the ball. Very, very good defensive pair. They brought some calmness to Chelsea's backline, and it was very good. Then you switch everything. Go on and play, because Malo Gusto play. You play Alfie Gilchrist, play Bedashili, play Desasi, and then play Makakrea. It was so wrong. And for me, I don't know who amongst Mauricio Pochettino technical team are advising and say, boss our midfield pair, boss our centre back combination, because it was wrong. And you could tell from the blast of the whistle that Benoit Belashile is in trouble. Arsenal congesting centuries. He doesn't have the confidence to break the lines properly from centre back like he used to do. And all of a sudden, you are in trouble. You need help from someone. You can't bail Benoit Belashile out. And these are some of the things. You see, Marcan several times said, for me, I don't think that Mauricio Pochettino should be sacked. And I've said it several times. Anybody that listens to me here will get my point. I've said that. People who say that the Chelsea project is a joke lack the understanding of what really it is. And that's the sense I get. Say, Obi Obeka say, Chelsea project is a joke. The owners need me like all of these things. I think they lack understanding. Now, why do I say so? For you to understand the Chelsea currently, and then assess them, and then know exactly what to do. You can't do away with what happened just 2 years ago to Roman Abramovich and cut it away and make it happen like nothing happened then. It was a huge thing that happened to the club. Had huge implications on the club. Financially, psychologically, emotionally, everything on the field of play. It affected the club. And I'm saying it again. The person that even insulated the club for extra harm on the field of play was Thomas Tuchel. If Tuchel wasn't there at the time and was just a regular manager who wasn't as charismatic as him, it would have been worse. So a new owner comes in, and because a lot of players have left, they have a new transfer strategy. The strategy is, we need to get a lot of our players. We need to get players that are willing to play for us. But in that, it doesn't necessarily mean everybody's going to be a first team player in the next 2 or 3 years. Some of them are opportunities that we're going to sell. Some of them are players that can fit in now. Some of them are world-class world beaters that we want to put in our team. So we buy all of these things. It goes into 1 billion. And people will consistently discuss things and say 1 billion. Yeah, it probably just being blatantly myopic, or intentionally just being myopic, or intentionally just looking away, or we are being selective, having some selective amnesia. If you discuss Chelsea's transfer conversation in just the gross sale and say that, Chelsea spent 1 billion. No, it's supposed to be the net spend that's less than 1 billion. Way less than 1 billion. And because Chelsea had to do this thing. And again, you discuss this competition, you look at it from the wages point of view as well. The wages, because Chelsea have a new wage system. Where is there an incentive-based wage system? And all of these things are very, very, very important in terms of how to handle all of these things. The conversation around Chelsea, what she wants them to do, what she don't want them to do, what exactly the club seeks to do, what exactly the club seeks to get. And nobody expected to say the first season was going to be a season where Chelsea triumphs and gets all the trophies. No, all of these things were supposed to come. That's why there was the need to appoint, for me, a manager that's supposed to be a builder. Yes, there are managers that are top class, that are high level. They can bypass the first, second step and then build a team. But that wasn't going to be sustainable. There's a need to get the first step right, build a team, calm, confidence, basic level. Give it 2 years for that. Get them to levels around the top 4, top 5 area sustainably. Then later you go in for the big catch, the big kill. That is the plan. And I believe strongly a lot of people do not understand. And again, the conversation of Chelsea around the kind of talents that are there, the injuries that they had. Levi Cole obviously has been very important. Romeo Lavia, all of these players very, very important, who for large parts of the season have been injured. And these players that have been very important, very telling, very, very telling to the course of Chelsea this season. And they aren't there. And for me, these are some of the things that are going on that people ought to be very, very patient and careful with when they are discussing the Chelsea conversation. Because I think that a lot of the people that's told those things just do not understand, or they've not tried to understand. It's not because maybe they don't understand, they just don't want to understand, because they probably have the know-how to understand some of these things. They just don't want to understand um, why Chelsea are where they are. They want to appreciate it. And Chelsea have a big job. They have a big job. For me, I've said it several times. I understand when big losses like Arsenal come, the rhetoric is that, yeah, Pochettino has to go. But I've said it several times that whilst in that moment it's worried for you to assess the situation, when you calm down, you can see clearly that, yes, once you finish the season, let them assess him. Give him at least the kind of players that will mix up to blend this team and take this team to the next level. Give him to the middle of the season, the next season, and then assess him properly there by January. If he's not good enough, you sack him. Then you go on and then bring in a world beater who you think that maybe when you've built the team to that level, a JPD coach, in my opinion, to turn things around and play some good football and then win games, which is very, very important. So, a Chelsea conversation, we are not going to stop having it. There's a big game going to go on against Aston Villa over there. So we'll talk about all of those things as well. And then there are a lot of things that we'll talk about, a lot of details that we want to mention as well. So my name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining me. Subscribe, turn notification. Bye bye.